Guess what today is? Black Friday. Now I know I've done videos in the past saying like I'm selling all my snakes, but the truth is this video is a little bit more accurate. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not selling off the snakes at the Reptarium or anything like that, but because we are downsizing heavily on the BHB side, there are going to be a lot of my own personal snakes available today. So head over to bhbreptiles.com if you want to get into breeding snakes or you want a new pet or whatever the case is. I'll show you some of the things that we're actually selling today. The one thing that isn't going to change is we're going to have all of the baby snakes available on sale for Black Friday like it is every day. Just like this Pastavi Orange Dream right here. There are a ton of cool ball pythons for sale, colubrids for sale, geckos for sale, and all kinds of stuff. So that won't change at all. So there's definitely going to be a lot. With that being said, we have about 6 or 7 racks full of snakes. That's about 300 to 400 snakes. That probably won't make it onto the website for the Black Friday sale. So make sure to always check back on BHB Reptiles. You can even sign up for our newsletter, and we'll send you an update when they actually are available on the website. This little monkey here is a little bit cheeky. And of course, we have some 2022 babies available too that are now getting pretty big. And a lot of them should actually be ready to breed this coming year too. So they'll all be on the website. Again, they'll all be discounted. But that's all typical. What's not typical this year are animals like this, which is a champagne het for mimosa, which is het for ghost. And there's about 150 or so adult animals that are proven breeders. I mean, these are all egg layers. They've all been good to us. They're relatively young animals, anywhere from 3 years old to maybe 7 years old. And they've been great producing animals for us, but it's our decision to downsize BHB. And I'll tell you why that decision has been made. But before I tell you all that, it's not just ball pythons that are going to be available. Like I mentioned, geckos are going to be available, all kinds of cool lizards, but also a bunch of other boas and pythons, like our entire Colombian rainbow boa group, minus the leucistics we're going to go ahead and have to move. Not to mention things like spotteds, children's, Stimson's pythons. We're going to have a bunch of pairs and trios available of them as well. Again, these are proven breeder animals that are in the prime of the breeding season. It's not like we want to get rid of them. I don't want to. It's hurting my heart to do it. The fact is that we have to make some changes to really focus on the future. But don't get me wrong, we are keeping some amazing animals as well, like our Suriname red-tail boas and a bunch of other boa stuff. For 2 reasons. We're going to still have some breeding groups, like even with the spotted rainbows and stuff like that, as well as ball pythons. We're keeping some things so that we're still producing, so BHB is still around. And we also have a lot of animals like these red tails that hopefully will be on display at the Legasea or at the Reptarium. You know that the future to me is the Legasea and the Reptarium. It has been for the last 5 or 6 years. And there's always been like the idea that we probably downsize BHB, not get rid of BHB, but downsize BHB. Well, now we actually have to do it because number one, Legasea is in full tilt. We're putting all our energy into that, as well as our finances and everything into that. The future is the Legasea Aquarium and the Reptarium. Not to mention with my health, it's a little bit harder to run so many different things now. So it's just kind of the right decision. Is it going to be hard? Absolutely. Much like when we sold off a lot of our corn snakes and king snakes, it was so painful to see those animals go. But so many of you guys that bought those animals sent me photos of babies that you produced this year, and it was absolutely wonderful, and I was so excited about it. And I know the same thing will happen with this. So again, do I want to sell them? No. Do we need to sell them? Yes, we kind of do. BHB will still be around. It just won't be around on the level that it normally is. So make sure to head over to bhbreptiles.com. By the way, also reptilearmy.com. We have our new Christmas drop that just is out today. And you could go over to reptilearmy.com and get your cool swag for Christmas or merch or gifts or whatever the case may be as well. So I appreciate you guys hopefully making this Black Friday sale amazing for us, and you guys hopefully will find some really cool animals. Keep an eye on the BHB website because there's going to be more animals even after Black Friday for sure. As for now, speaking of the Legasea in the future, let's head over and see what's going on. Another mellow day here over at the Legasea. Unfortunately, they did put up the wall though for the weeping wall. So again, we had the back wall over here, which is the reptile side. But we needed this extra wall to go in so that we can actually put what they call Durarock, or that kind of stony thing that you'd put behind a shower in the bathroom. You put that there, and then we'll actually seal it. Also, we'll put universal rock sheeting that looks kind of like this here, and then there'll be a pipe along the top that actually weeps down the wall. So this wall went in is great. The framers are here, they're just on lunch. But unfortunately, that's the only trade that's here. No plumbers, no HVAC, no electrician, no painters. All the people that were supposed to be here. This holiday season just stinks because everyone's like, oh, it's the holiday, I'm not gonna work. So the Legasea isn't making much progress right now, but the good news is next week, Ahmed's team is back, so he's back to theming. We get the trades back, they're supposed to be back right after the holiday, as well as, guess what, we have a special person may be coming, that's right, Felipe's team might be back next week as well, so it's gonna be pretty cool to have everyone here. It should be really bustling here next week, but it does stink that right now the Legasea is kind of just at a standstill.
All right, so these guys right here, these are actually our new beetles, and these guys actually,
I love them.
They play dead.
Oh my god, they're beautiful, dude.
I'll show you. So these are called death-fiending beetles. I don't know where they're from. When you flip them on their backs, they actually can flip themselves back over after they're done playing dead. Crazy, right? Oh, watch it.
He's like,
boom! I taught him that.
You could certainly see the changes that are already happening here at BHB upstairs. This used to be an aisle of colubrids here. At one point, we had hundreds and hundreds of colubrids before we made the downstairs colubrid room all throughout here, as well as tons of geckos and stuff like that. And even over on this side, we used to have baby geckos. And of course, now we have all the mammals over here. We have, hi, Hobby, what are you doing? Sid is getting so big. I mean, look at how giant these guys are getting. I can't wait to get them into their enclosures across the street that are going to even be bigger, and a whole bunch of cool stuff. So again, just holding cages, and then of course, our little rascal here. Look at him. Hey, buddy, what are you doing, you silly monkey? I absolutely love Stitch. He's the best. Look at him. Hi, buddy, what are you doing? He's like, Dad, can I come up and play? Oh my gosh, he's absolutely amazing. So as you can see, BHB's been changing a lot already. Not to mention, look at the colubrid room. I mean, number one, we built this entire part of the basement out for all our colubrids. At one point, we had several hundred adult colubrids. Now you see we don't have very many colubrids left here. And then the other side, that used to be all colubrids as well, is all gone now, and now it's a bunch of plants. So these are plants that are actually getting grown out for the Legasea Aquarium, as well as we've thought about a couple ideas. We'll cover that in another video or something like that. And then of course, we're going to clear all this out again for more plants and more things like that. And then we have all our geckos down here too. So now these are our breeder geckos down here that used to be upstairs. Of course, we still have the cool room here. Speaking of cool room, take a look at this. Got a little baby gecko hatching out. Take a look at that little gargoyle gecko. How cute is that? That's amazing. And again, you know, I couldn't imagine life without producing reptiles. So it's not like we're going to stop breeding reptiles and it's all going away. It's just that our focus is more on education, entertainment, conservation, stuff like that. And the Legacy project with the aquarium, with the reptile zoo, and then of course the reptarium back here. It's just taking up so much time and energy. And that is really where we want our future to be. Not only my future, but our family's future, and even the crew. The crew is more excited about the legacy, what we're doing there, than they are working on the BHB side. With the exception of Jessica, who loves the BHB side. So Jessica's going to stay on with the BHB side, and she's going to kind of run things here. So I've kind of told Jessica, we're going to keep whatever you want to keep, because she's going to be the one that has to work with them every day. And you know, BHB has meant so much to me over the years. You know, I mean, in 1989, we actually started BHB. And for you guys that don't know, BHB is my initials, Brian Henry Barczyk. So of course, you know, it's important to me. You know, I mean, for 35 years, it's kind of been my family's business. You know, I mean, for many years, it was our sole income. I mean, it helped me travel around the world and do amazing things, meet amazing people, work with amazing animals. So it's really got a special part in my heart. A decision to downsize BHB isn't something I take lightly by any stretch of the imagination. And if I was 100% healthy, I would probably try to keep BHB going, because I'll always love the reptile hobby, and I'll always trumpet it as an amazing, amazing hobby. I love every part of it. I love people, I love the animals, I used to love traveling to shows. The fact is, I have to really put my energy into one thing. I don't have enough energy to go around like I used to go around. By the way, look at these file snakes. These are Cape file snakes. They are so weird. I think next year we'll actually be able to potentially produce them, but they move around so weird. I've never seen a snake like it, and it's like holding sandpaper. They are so rough, it's unbelievable. They're just cool snakes. I can't wait to produce these things, because I think they're going to be super popular just because they're so unusual. You know, the Legacy Aquarium is such a ginormous undertaking. I mean, probably even bigger than I thought. I knew that this was going to be huge, the biggest thing that we've ever done. It's definitely turned out to be much bigger. I mean, there's so many things that are going on, so many moving parts. I mean, basically, we took a building and built it from ground up, right? I mean, other than the walls, we ripped everything out, and we started over with electrical, heating and cooling, plumbing, you name it. We tore the front of the building up, built a new front facade for the building. And, you know, the fact is that sometimes you have to, like, let go of one vine to grab the next vine, right? And if you hang on to the old vine too long, you're going to miss that new vine. And the new vine for us is the fact that we wanted to do the Legacy Aquarium. The Reptarium was really life-changing. I mean, what kid, especially a kid like little Brian that loves reptiles and loves animals, wouldn't want their own reptile zoo? It was always a dream of mine to have a reptile zoo, even though I was breeding snakes for so long, because I just wanted to work with animals. And once we opened up the Reptarium, it was so evident to me that that's what I wanted to do with my life. So we expanded the Reptarium. We went as far as we could at that building. And remember, at one point, we were considering doubling the building across the street before this building came available. And then here we are with this one. So the fact is that this was always the progression I wanted to happen in my life. It's here, it's happening, and it's going to be open here in the next few months. So I've got to put all my energy into this, because this is what the future is for not only for me, but the legacy of everyone around me, my family, my friends, my crew, everything like that. So it kind of stinks to let a bunch of animals go. Animals that I've raised from babies. You got to remember, every one of these animals are animals that I either hatched out or bought as babies and then raised up. So it's going to be really difficult to let them go. The fact is that I got to keep my eyes on the prize. and the prize is the Legasea Aquarium. When we're open and when I see hundreds and thousands of people coming through the door and having an amazing time with the fish, with the reptiles, with the mammals, just seeing those smiles and knowing that we're changing people's lives, that to me is what's important. And the truth is that I wish I could do both, but right now, where I'm at right now currently, the best thing to do is to try to focus most of my energy on this project and still have BHB, but just not have it as big of a focus. So yes, does it stink? Yes. Is it gonna be okay? Yes. Is it gonna hurt when I pack them up? Yes, it is. As long as I can keep this vine in mind, grab that vine and just swing away and make sure that we actually get this place open, it will be absolutely worth it. You have to remember, opening up a reptile zoo just wasn't feasible the majority of my life. There was a couple reptile zoos around the country, but they were kind of like old institutions and there wasn't a whole lot out there, right? It wasn't like a roadmap. Not to mention, reptile zoos are really expensive to open and I didn't have the money to do it. It wasn't until I bred snakes long enough and then of course grew a following online and had enough people following that it seemed like it was worth taking the risk to do. Of course, we opened up Reptile 1.0. That went so well that we opened up 2.0 and it's been crushing and doing so well. And because of the success of all of those things, it gave us the ability to work on the legacy. So like I said, it's going to be difficult to see these animals go. This Mojave ball python female that's bred for me the last few years, I remember when she hatched out. I remember the day she came out of the egg and I raised her up and she's so absolutely incredible. It's going to be hard to see these guys go. But again, we have to do it because the future is the legacy and we have to just let things go. It's going to give you guys an opportunity to work with some really beautiful animals and potentially become snake breeders yourself. And who knows, maybe 20 years from now, you guys will be opening up a Legasea Aquarium just like me. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, this holiday season just stinks